Hello, everyone. A very, very good afternoon. A story is like a river. It flows, it connects, and it carves its own path in our hearts. Welcome, everyone, for the 13th edition of Chennai Storytelling Festival 2025 fourth weekend. Storytelling is more than just words. It's an experience, a journey, and a chance to see the world through someone else's eyes, isn't it? Today we are in for a treat as we embark on an adventure filled with personal tales, myths, legends, folk tales, and magical stories. So sit back, open your hearts, and let the stories unfold. Introducing the very first teller of today, Ramendra Kumar ji. He is from Bangalore. Laughter is the shortest distance between two people. Our first storyteller is from Bangalore, and the name Ramendra means Lord of Joy. A fitting name for a storyteller who brings warmth, humor, and depth to every tale. Today he shares a deeply personal story titled Love, Laughter and Lunacy, a journey through life's quirks, emotions and unforgettable moments. Get ready for a story that will make you smile, reflect and cherish the beauty of life. Over to you, Ramendranji.
You're going to get me on the.
I will do that.
Vanakkam. Thanks for the lovely introduction, Sheetal. So, jumping right into my story, I always thought instant love or love at first sight was as impossible as instant nirvana. This notion of mine was rudely shattered when I set my eyes on Madhavi when both of us joined as management trainees in Rourkela Steel Plant. On 23rd October 1986 at 11:05, I fell completely, absolutely, totally in love with Madhavi. It took me 7 seconds. It took her 7 months. She's always been a bit slow. So after our mutual confessions, I sent a letter. I wrote a letter to my father. During those days, we didn't have email and stuff like that. And I got a reply from him after a couple of days. Congratulations to you and Madhvi coming to Rourkela to bless both of you. Madhvi left the same evening of our confession to Bhubaneswar, which is an overnight journey from Rourkela, to tell her parents who lived in Bhubaneswar about her, interest or obsession of marrying me. She came back 2 days later, all teary eyed and in shambles. I asked her what happened. She said, my father has gone completely berserk. He said, there's no question of me marrying you. I asked, he's not even met me. What's the reason? So she said, we are Telugu Vaishnavite Brahmins and you're a North Indian Banya. My father has no objections me marrying to anybody who's a Telugu Vaishnavite Brahmin, even if he has a tail growing out of his backside. But a North Indian Banya, impossible. And so every week, Madhi would go from Rourkela to Bhubaneswar, spend the weekend there, and come back in tears, because the entire family rallied around my future father-in-law, and she had absolutely no chance. In fact, they were telling her that he's going to suffer a stroke, and he's threatened that he would go on a hunger strike and all, and this went on for almost 5 to 6 months. When one Monday, after she came back from Bhubaneswar, she told me, Ramin, मैं अपने सपनों का महल अपने पिताजी की मृत्युशैया पर नहीं बना सकती. Now I was gobsmacked. Somebody who looked like Madhuri Dixit, somebody who talks like Madhuri Dixit, who, laughs like Madhuri Dixit, is acting like Nirupa Rai or Mary Magdalene. I knew the marriage was not going to happen. So I resigned from my job and went back to Rourkela. After around 6, 7 months, I got a letter from Madhvi dearest Ramin, dearest, dearest Ramin, can you come to Rourkela for a day? It doesn't matter if you're not able to, if you're busy. So I said, come on, Madhavi. I thought to myself, come on, Madhavi, I've been living in the post office literally 24/7, waiting for a missive like this. I rushed to Rourkela in the shortest possible time. She rushed into my arms and she said, let's get married. So I said, what about that Sheesh Mahal, Sangamarmar, hunger strike and everything, heart stroke and everything else? She said, it was all drama. Let us get married, and I'm sure after some time, my dad and the rest of my family will come around. I said, what about our jobs? Because she was employed in Rourkela steel plant, and I was in Hyderabad working for a consultancy organization. She said, I will resign. So I thought for a moment, for quite some time, in fact, and I thought if she's going to be estranged from her parents and she's going to resign, there's going to be too much of a, what should I say, chaos in her life. And it would be a very rocky start to the marriage. So I approached the management of Rourkela Steel Plant and requested them. They said, okay, you can come back, but you will have to join as a fresh entrant. That means I would be junior to my future wife Madhavi and my batchmates by 2 years. I thought it's a small price to pay to be united with somebody I loved to distraction. I rang up my father that this is the predicament. And guess what he said? He used to speak in Hindi. He said, Beta, मनपसंद नौकरी तो मिल जाएगी लेकिन मनपसंद छोकरी नहीं मिलेगी शादी कर लो मैं सारे arrangements कर दूंगा. So we eloped to Nagpur where my sister and brother-in-law were there. They made all the arrangements and we got married. And then we came back and we broke the news to Madhvi's parents. For 3 years it was hell. They said, they made declarations like Madhvi is dead for us. She has ruined our reputation and all that. We don't exist for her and blah, blah, blah. Finally, after 3 years, they came for Madhvi's delivery. And after my firstborn, Ankita was, happened, I placed her in my father-in-law's lap. And he thought, and she gave him a smile. And he thought anybody who's responsible to the extent of 50% of production of this angel cannot be a devil. And he hugged me. And since then, we are the best of friends. But what about me on the job front? Now, Rourkela is a very small place where everybody knows everybody else. The grocer, the milkman, the maid, the gardener. So any transfer, any promotion is known to everybody. So in 1988, if you are if you are junior to your wife, who's brilliant and beautiful and charismatic, by 2 years, you are the biggest idiot on planet Earth. So I was ridiculed, left, right, and center. In one of the meetings, a general manager, he declared, condolences to Ramendra and congratulations, Ramendra. So then somebody asked, why this double, greeting? So he said, congratulations to Ramen because his wife Madhvi got the promotion, and condolences to him because he did not. So I was not even eligible then, because of being junior. And one of my colleagues said, sir, at this rate, one day, you will be reporting to madam. So I said, Parida Babu, what is the problem at home? I report to madam. In the office also, I will report to madam. And don't forget, her office is on the 4th floor and mine is on the ground floor. I look up to her and she looks down on me. But jokes apart, it was a tough time for 12 years. And then finally, I made up with her. Now, our marriage, our runaway marriage is now called a runaway success. Now, what is the reason? I think because of some very, very sharp differences we share in our personality and a few commonalities. So what are the differences? Now, my wife, my beautiful, gorgeous wife, Madhavi, handles all the major ministries like offense, defense, external affairs, health, and finance. She dabbles in the stock market, and I think she's the only shareni in the share market. And I handle women and child welfare. Also, she is an out-and-out extrovert. She can have an intimate conversation with a doorknob for around 30-35 minutes. And as far as she's a mellifluous singer, but she has 2 left feet. I've been dancing to her tunes for the last 3 decades, but I croak. Also, Her life position is, I'm okay, you're okay. Mine is, I'm not okay, you're okay, or I'm okay, you're not okay. We also have a few similarities. I, Madhvi loves shopping, and I love to watch her shop simply because it provides me tax-free entertainment and enough material for my satire. And there's one thing I forgot to tell you, that both of us, as far as lovemaking is concerned, we are on different planets. To me, it's an obsession. To her, it's a distraction. Fortunately, she was majorly distracted for on two occasions. That's why we have two beautiful children, Ankita and Aniket. Now, coming back to our similarities, I think both of us have a great sense of humor. I crack jokes and she cracks up easily. Now, I am from a broken home. My mother eloped with a man 20 years younger to her when I was just around 14. So I have always had this sense of insecurity and a deep distrust in relationships. Madhvi made me realize or, internalize three cornerstones of any relationship: empathy, trust, and respect. My mother gave me the lacerations. Madhvi gave me the healing. During my cancer experience, I suffered three septic shocks. The probability of surviving one septic shock is only 30%. Three times I knocked on the door of death and walked back to the kingdom of the living. Madhvi played Savitri to my Satyavan. Now, finally, one day, I was in an utterly romantic mood. I looked deep into her eyes and said, Madhvi, what made you fall in love with me? She looked at me and said, you offered a lot of scope for improvement. After that, I never ever posed this question to her. And now she's also watching this program. Let me tell you, Madhvi, that you are brilliant, you're charming, you're charismatic. But in one aspect, I'm far, far superior to you. My taste is better than yours. Thank you.
The very first thing, if she can on her video and we would like to see her.
I think she's slightly embarrassed. She just disappeared.
Oh, is it? Okay,
No,
you should
no,
have
my
kept
kids,
her besides
no,
you
my
and
kids
told
are
the
there. I
story.
think my kids are there. I can
Oh,
request
please
them to
on
come
the
on.
video. Yes, please, please. It will be an
Ankita,
honor
Aniket,
to
can you
see
just come on
them.
for a few seconds if you're there?
Sorry, I won't be able to come on video right now.
Aniket,
No, that's
Aniket,
fine.
can Aniket come on? I think he's also.
No worries at all. But that was really, really very heart-touching story, I would say. So, yes, so the very first question I would like to ask is why did you select this story for today?
It's very, very close to my heart, and it talks about the roller coaster of a life which I've had.
Right.
Yeah, the shift from distrust and insecurity to empathy and respect all happened because of Madhvi. The lacerations given by my mother and the healing by my wife Madhvi. You know,
Right.
it's also so close to my heart.
Okay, superb. And based on your storytelling style, what are the three words, that would define you?
Uh, what three words would
Any
be
three? Yes.
insane,
Okay.
yeah, and risk-taking ability I have,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm a complete, utter, absolute romantic.
Wow, that's super. That's really super. Okay, over to you, audience, please.
Hello.
Yes. Audience, I have a bundle of questions for Ramendra sir if nobody is going to ask.
I think Erin would like to
Yes.
ask.
Yes. Yes, Vijay
Um,
Lakshmi ma'am.
Hi, Pratigya here. Can you hear me?
Sheetal, this is Sheetal. Yes, I can hear you, please.
Sorry, this is Pratigya. Pratigya Sheetal, I am here. Pratigya बात कर रही हूँ.
Acha. Okay. One second. Yes. Yes.
Ramendra, you are so much fun, I tell you. It's wonderful to listen to your stories, full of life, full of energy, and खेल में कितना कुछ सिखा जाते हो आप. Really loved it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yes, super. Yes, Vijaya Lakshmi ma'am. Yes, please. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Vijay ma'am. Vanakkam. Unmute. You have to unmute, yeah.
Yes.
You're still on mute.
आप म्यूट पे हो मैम. You are on mute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
अभी
you
ठीक है?
opt your. हाँ ठीक है. Perfect है.
Hi, Ramen.
Hi, Vanakkam.
We go back a long way as friends, and I'm
Yes.
first
More
time
than
I'm
3
hearing
decades.
you.
Yeah.
First time I'm hearing you. Many congratulations. I mean,
No comment.
you've been a
Thank you.
superpower as a storyteller in spite of all your challenges.
Thank you.
And it has your romantic side, your challenging side, your go-getter side, all combined into a beautiful story that you narrated just now.
Thank you so much.
Well done. And
Thank you.
my good wishes to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Sheetal, may I say something?
Yes, please. Yes, Veena, please.
Hello, Ramendra.
Hi.
God, it's always, wonderful to listen to you. You're my mentor. And when I met you in Bangalore, Sheetal, such a wonderful family, and his love for Mother Way is 100%. You should see the way he looks at her when she sings, the way, oh my, all the time, each and every word was true. And every time I listen to your story, I'm so inspired, the way you have survived the big sea and the way you inspire and encourage others. You're such an amazing personality and you inspire millions, as I've told you before. And
Thank you.
you were so kind to, always encourage me and give me advice anytime I needed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venus.
Thank you, Sheetal.
Hi, Ramendra.
Thank you.
Hi, Priyanka. Long time no see.
Long time. After long time, we are seeing you come back with a bang. That's what matters the most, I think. And as you can see, I'm driving. So being a responsible citizen, ideally I shouldn't talk. But you made me stop in the middle of the road.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, like you are so amazing, and I always have been following your journey. You don't know perhaps, but you inspire many people like me, many storytellers, many authors. Whenever we meet, we discuss Ramendra is the common thing. So it's so amazing to hear your story, and your taste is better than Madhavi's, and my taste is better than yours. I can tell that.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Stay blessed.
Thank you, Priyanka. That was so lovely.
Yes. Okay, so shall we move on to the next stellar? Lalita, are you ready? Yes. So let's move on to our next stellar for the day. Lalitha Sastry, she is from Hyderabad. Lalita means graceful and divine, and true to her name, she brings an aura of elegance and wisdom to her storytelling. Her story for today, it's a mystery. So let's unfold this mystery. Over to you, Lalita.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Because I've had just I had a power cut and I logged in again. Are you able
You
to
are
hear?
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Ramenji, I've heard this story even before, and every time I hear this story, it is so lovely and so beautiful. And I've met both of you, and God bless you both. And I know you say that Madhvi's choice, your choice is better than Madhvi's choice, but no, I feel that both of you have chosen the right partners.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So today, now everybody is talking about, or every day since 1 month, we have been, all of us in India have been following the Mahakumbh. It is the largest gathering. And this year, it is even more special because it's come after 144 years, after the full Kumbh, 12 cycles, and it is really special. And so many people traveling there to take the dip in the holy waters, Triveni Sangam. When you go there, people say that they are able to distinguish between the two waters, Ganga and Yamuna, and all of us know that the the third river in the Triveni Sangamam, Saraswati, is flowing under. Today, I bring to you all the story of Saraswati. Long, long ago, at a time that we cannot even fathom, the Devas and the Asuras were always fighting. After one such fight, very tired, but after winning, the Devas were going back to heaven. And when they were going back, they just looked down. They saw something which looked just like heaven. And they wanted to explore. It felt very beautiful from up there. So all of them descended to earth and went into that place. That was the hermitage or the ashram of sage Dadichi. Sage Dadichi welcomed all the Devas and was very, very hospitable. All the Devas also were very humble. After some time, the king of Devas, Indra, told Dadichi that he wants to leave all their weapons with Dadichi and go back to heaven. And he said, keep them. We are giving it for safekeeping. Keep them with you. Sage Dadichi said, so be it. Leave them here. Indra said, but please give it to us only when we come back. Do not give it to anybody. Yes, said the sage. All the Devas went back on their way. Now the weapons were with Dadichi for 100 years. After that, he wanted to go up to the Himalayas to do a penance, and he had a servant called Subhadra. Now, this lady could not obviously carry all the weapons with her. So, the sage, with his austerities, the power he vested in him, he drank the intrinsic power of the weapons along with water, left those weapons in the ashram, and went up north. After some time, Indra came down and asked for the weapons. Dadichi said, the weapons are in that ashram, but I have the power vested in me. The power of those weapons is in me. You can take my bones and make weapons again. How can we take your bones without killing you? And that's not acceptable. I do not care about this body. I will cast away this body. Then you can take the weapons, said Dadichi. Indra just kept quiet. And the sage did what as he said. And the bones were taken. Vishwakarma made weapons out of those bones, and the Vajra, the weapon made for Indra, was very, very powerful. The sage, Dadichi, had a son. At that time he was very small. After a few years, he came running to his mother and said, I see all the children in the ashram playing with their fathers, sitting on the laps of their fathers. where is my father? The mothers told him about how his father had given up the body for the bone because the devas wanted the bones. Now this boy, his name was Pippalada. He was very, very angry. And he stood up and said, I am going to avenge my father's death. How can the devas take away the bones like that? And for avenging that, for taking revenge, I have to have powers. And so I will go and do penance. He went to a place in the Himalayas, stood there for I don't know how many years, stood in one place and just did penance. After many, many years, out of his thigh emerged a mare. And from that mare, from the womb of that mare, came a fetus which was in the shape of fire. Now in Sanskrit, the mare is called Vadava and Agni. So the fire which has come out of the Vadava is called Vadavagni. Pippalada opened his eyes, looked at the Agni and said, Who are you or what are you? The Agni replied, I have come out of you. Now you tell me, what should I do? What do you want me to do? Pippalada was very happy. He said, Go and devour all the devas. At that moment in heaven, the devas were so worried because they knew about this Agni. They rushed to Vishnu. Vishnu, as usual, smiled and said, Don't worry, I'll take care. He went and met the Badavagini. And in his usual style, he said, I know you have to listen to your sage. I know you have to do what you're made for. But what fun it is to eat all the devas at the same time. Why don't you eat one a day, one at a time? Vadavagni liked this suggestion. He said, yeah, that's going to be fun. I'll do that. No, but whom should I eat first or whom should I devour first? Why don't you eat or devour the primordial waters, because those are the ones which came into existence first, right? So go and eat the ocean. Oh, that's a very good idea. Who is going to lead me to the ocean? Stay here. I'll send somebody, said Vishnu. And he came back. He looked at Ganga. He said, Ganga, why don't you go and take that fire into the ocean? Ganga said, I can't withstand that fire. Yamuna also said, I cannot. All of them, all the devas looked at Saraswati. Ambitame, Naditame, Devitame, Saraswati. You are the mother of mothers. You are the mother of rivers. You are the mother of all the goddesses. Vishnu said, O purest of pure, you only can do this. Please go and take the fire. Saraswati looked at Vishnu and then looked at Brahma as if asking him permission or asking him to tell her what to do. Brahma said, O beautiful lady, go save the devas. Cast away the fire into the sea. Saraswati said, that fire will consume me. And the earth is full of sinners. I do not want to go on the earth. Then, in that case, you don't go on the earth. You go into the earth, go through the Patala Lokam or the Netherlands, and then cast away that fire into the waters. And whenever you feel that you're not able to withstand the heat, come out onto the earth, stay for some time, and then go back. And oh, beautiful lady, go without any doubt. And after you cast away that fire in the west, turn towards the east. There you will meet the Tirtha. Oh, lady of the charming smile, please go, and there will not be any hurdles in your path, said. Saraswati got ready. All the devas came there, showered flowers on her. They started praying. Ya kundendu tusharaharadhavala, ya shupravastravita, ya veena-varadanda-manditakara, ya shveta-padmasana, या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवी सदा पूजिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा निःशेषजाड्यापहा. O Saraswati, the one who looks like the jasmine flowers, the one who looks like the snow, the moon, the one who looks like the garland of pearls. Saraswati, the one who plays the veena, who sits on a beautiful white lotus, to whom Shiva and Brahma and Vishnu pray. O Saraswati, dispel the darkness. So she went ahead. She went to the Himalayas, Himavan Parvat, and she emerged at the Praksha tree. And she flowed down. And when she was flowing down, she looked like a beautiful smile with all foam around. She went into the earth, galloping like a horse with a fire in her hand. And she travelled into the Patalam. And after some time, she came out for a few minutes or few days. When she came out, she found 4 sages who wanted to do some puja, some rites at the banks of a river. She didn't want to disappoint them. So she broke into 5 channels. The names of those rishis are Harinya, Vajra, Nayanku and Kapila. And so she broke into 5 channels. She left those 4 channels there, and Saraswati went again into the earth. And then she emerged at the sea. And she told the Agni in her hand, "Here we are at the sea." The Agni looked at the sea or the ocean and said, "It looks as if it's scared of me." Agni, yes, everybody is scared of you. Aren't you here to eat or devour them? Now this Agni also was very happy with Saraswati and said, "I want to give you a boon. Ask me something." Saraswati closed her eyes and she spoke to Vishnu. Vishnu told her what to do. She opened her eyes and spoke to the Agni and said, "I want you to become a Suchimukha." Suchimukha, someone who has a mouth like a needle. But Agni was outwitted again. He said, "Okay." And he went and she cast the fire into the ocean. And that Vadavagni, which still remains, is taking the ocean, a tiny bit of the ocean every day through its mouth like a needle. And she remembered what Brahma said, "Turn east." She turned east. She went and met Ganga and Yamuna. Ganga the consort of Shiva, Yamuna, the consort of Vishnu, and Saraswati, the consort of Brahma. And that is the Triveni Sangama. People call Saraswati the lost river, but for me, it is the eternal river, flowing, always flowing.
Thank you so much for the beautiful story, Lalita. We didn't know about this, and it is always, good to know about the things, our history and our scriptures and all that. So that was a wonderful story. So tell me one thing, why did you select this story for today?
This story is actually from Skanda Purana. And
Okay.
I like telling mythological stories, and I always try and choose a story which is relevant. And because Kumbh Mela is happening, and I also wanted to tell something which is relevant. And I was I was reading about it, and I know that Triveni Sangamam, and I know all of us know that we believe Saraswati is flowing under. So I wanted to understand what this is and why is it lost, and if there is anything mentioned in our text. And so I did my research, and I found this story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, even when I was doing the research, all the geologists and the Indologists and the archaeologists, all of them are trying to find if there was a river, and they call it the lost river. But whatever story I have found, it really fits their description also. In the Harappa civilization, that is the Indus Valley civilization, near the
Yes.
I've written Gagra and Gagar and Hakra, there is
Okay.
something like this which fits the description or fits the story.
Okay. So we wouldn't call it mythology, but we would call it history more, isn't it? Because it's always told, right? When we tell Mahabharata stories and Ramana stories, we
That is
always
the
say
Itihasa,
it,
yeah.
right?
Sorry, Sheetal,
Yes, so
I
it's a history.
strongly disagree to that. You cannot call that history. Let's stick to mythology being mythology. We have our own beliefs.
Okay.
It is mythology. For me, it is mythology. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. Yes, over to you, Pratigya. You can talk now. Yes, from the audience. Anybody? Okay. So,
Hi, Sheetal.
yes, hi.
Can I? Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Uh, yeah,
Not able. Priyanka,
Lalita.
yes. Yes.
Yes. So Lalita, I knew this story. Being a Hindu, we always celebrate Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. But I didn't know about the Suchi Mukha part, which is quite an information and such critical thinking that was applied. No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
I love that bit of your story, and I think using this story, if you are telling the story in this way, a lot can be taught to children about how to think and
Yes.
possibly how to act in case of exigency and emergency. I loved it. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Priya.
much.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Priyanka. So let's move on to our next stellar of the day. It is known that art is a voice of freedom and creativity knows no boundaries. We have Alvin from Chennai. His name, Alvin, means noble friend, and through his storytelling, he indeed becomes a friend to every listener. Today, he brings us an original creation, the origami girl, a girl A story about a young Chinese servant girl who finds her wings through the art of origami. Can creativity truly set one free? Let's listen and discover. Over to you, Alvin.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheetal. I never knew that my name meant noble friend. So that was a learning for me. So thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I
Super.
was under the impression that Alvin means always win. So yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So am I on spotlight? Yeah. There we go.
Yes, you are.
So life is about transformation. Last month, I weighed 96 kgs and today I'm weighing 90 kgs. And the reason for my drastic weight losses, my doctor said, Alvin, if you don't reduce your weight, you might end up being diabetic. And I thought instead of spending on insulin, I might spend a little fat. And also on transformation. When I did college, my parents and even I, we hoped that I would sit behind a computer and I would type my type codes and become a pretty stable man. But I ended up being a storyteller, which makes your mind stable, but people don't understand that. So life is all about transformation. And speaking about transformation, and this is being an adult storytelling festival, you might think I'm gonna tell you a very high philosophical or a story with great insight. But sorry, if you have such expectations, kindly keep it aside because I'm gonna give you a simple tale because at times life's deepest principles are found in simplicity. So let's move on to this tale of transformation. A long time ago in China, when there was no restriction on population expansion, a family in a village had 8 children and they were poor. And so the oldest of them was Peach Blossom, and she said to her father and mother, okay, I think I need to move out and I need to find my way. So I might get some money and also you will have one less mouth to feed. And parents with a heavy heart agreed. They had to agree. Otherwise, how will the story move forward? Peach Blossom, with a little baggage, walked from town to town searching for a job, but nobody gave her a job. And finally, she found a job as a domestic servant in a house where the owner woman, she was kind-hearted, there's no fuss about that, but she had 3 rugged boys. And it was them that Peach Blossom had to take care. And they were so notorious and they were so lazy too. Let me give you a few examples. These boys, when they wake up in the morning, they would not make their bed. When they eat, they would throw all their plates everywhere. When they come from school, the bag would be lying somewhere, the shoe would be elsewhere, and nobody in that house moved an inch to pick that up. And it was the duty of Peach Blossom to do everything. And so she did everything without saying a word or not even feeling sad. But there was one thing that made us sad, and that was one of the 3 notorious boys, especially the oldest, called Peach Blossom as Mud Girl because he thought, oh, Peach Blossom is a pretty name for a domestic servant. And this hurt her a lot. And she longed to run out of the house. And it was a time of holidays. And the owner had promised that during the holiday season, she can go to a home for a visit. And when it was that time, Peach Blossom went to them and asked, please, I want to go back home. You promised that this holiday season I can be there. But they declined. They said, oh, it is this time that we need you here. Yeah, you need to cook. You need to help us with everything here. So please. But then Peach Blossom was like, no, you promised me. Now, the oldest of the three boys, he had an idea to shut mud girl there. He said, if you do 3 tasks, we will let you go. And the first task was, can you bring fire in paper? Can you bring wind in paper? And can you bring water in paper? Fire, paper, water in paper. You bring them, you can go home. Now, Peach Blossom was aghast and she said, oh boy, I thought these guys are crazy. No, more than that, they are psychos. Oh, where am I stuck? And as it was holiday seasons, her mind drifted back to how they spent holidays. And one of the memory that came to her at that time was she and her siblings, they made paper crafts together. And that was the trigger she needed. And she thought, wow, oh, wow, yeah, great. And so she took the first paper and she made a quick fold. And okay, so I need to make a little fold. So hold on for the suspense. I'm feeling a little nervous because I haven't done this in front of an adult audience ever before, but Peach Blossom is an expert. And she made a paper cup. So with this, you got water and paper. And next she thought, okay, how to bring fire in paper? And so she took another paper again. She made a fold on top. She took a scissor and she began to cut till the edge. He opened it. Yeah, she opened it. Oopsie. And she folded it. Now let me staple it so you can see it. Just give me a second. And she made a paper lamp. Now this could hold the fire. And finally, she took the third paper and she began to make a paper fan, which will hold the wind. And so she pinched it, she pinched it, she pinched it. So let me do all the pinches quickly and show you the final end result. But I know very well that most of you would know what this the end result is. And she pinched it. And now she had a paper fan. So she showed the paper cup, the paper lamp, and the paper fan to the oldest boy. And he was dumbstruck. Yet he had a doubt. Okay, I can visualize water in the cup, fire in the lamp, but where is wind? And so Peach Blossom said, oh, you need to shake it and wind will come out. It's quite a smart girl. Now they had no other go. They paid her her wages and she went home for her holidays. She had a wonderful time, but the condition of the family was still unstable. And so she had to go back to the city to work. But she decided, hey, I'm not going to go back to that house, the house with 3 rugged boys. But people in the city do not know how to make anything with paper. So let me make them and sell them. And that's what she did. She made a lot of paper crafts, wonderful paper crafts, exquisite paper crafts, crafts that I could never do even if I had 30 years of training. And she sold them. And little by little, she became a successful woman. And this is how Peach Blossom, who began her career as a mud girl, got transformed into a successful entrepreneur, just like many of you in the audience. Thank you so much for listening to my tale.
Super, Alvin. We just had so much fun listening to the story. So tell me one thing, why did you decide to write a story based on origami? What
Okay.
inspired you?
All right. So what inspired me is okay. Actually, this story is an adaptation from one of the stories in this book.
Okay.
Okay, and I thought this would be a different experience. Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, and also origami is the only craft that I could do, so I thought I would use it here. That's it.
That's very nice. Super, super. Over to you, audience.
May I, Ketan, Katika here?
Yes.
Alvin, good to hear you after a long time, especially for adults. Good fun. A welcome, refreshing break from the usual stories that we've been having at the adult session. And also giving me ideas on how to take origami further. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Prith.
Hi,
Yes.
Alvin. I've seen many of your posters. I used to wonder how you used to run your classes and shops, workshops, Today I got to have an experience of it. I'm sure the children will also love it, isn't it? They will sure have lots of fun when they have something to do with their hands and with their thinking.
I
Wonderful.
think,
And I love your idea.
yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for the appreciation. I think, all of us love doing things with paper. Yeah, like,
Yeah, especially, yes. Adults too. Thank you, Alvin.
thank you.
Actually, I was looking for paper and I had called my son to get some paper, but he didn't give. I wanted to do it along with you. Yeah. It's a wonderful story. And yes, it is so nice to listen to the story. And like Pratigya said, uh, when we when we say adult story or story for adults, we usually think only of those stories which we can tell. But choosing this story and telling us, and we all loved it. And I really wanted to make those things along with you. Thank you, Alvin.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you once
Thank you.
more
And yeah,
for
thank you, Haritha. Thank you, Lalitha. Thank you, Prati. Thank you, everybody. Prinka, thank you, everybody, for all the interesting comments as well. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, it was so nice of you to come and join us in the last minute, and I took the opportunity for inviting you. So
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
once again for being here. So let's move on to our next stellar, Haritha Kannan from Chennai. Haritha means greenery, nature, and purity, a name that reflects balance and harmony, much like the story she brings today. A gentle voice can tame the wildest of storms. She tells us his stone bite, an Indian folktale that holds a lesson wrapped in wisdom and wit. Sometimes it's not about fighting back, but about finding the right way to stand our ground. Over to you, Haritha.
Thank you very much, Sheetal. Wonderful. Good afternoon to everyone in India and from all around the world. A big hi, hello. I'm Haritha Kannan and I'm connecting from Chennai, that's in India. I really love to participate in Chennai to Storytelling Festival year after year. And from the bottom of my heart, I like to thank Eric, Sheetal, Pratigya, Ambuja, and everyone who is working around the clock, this month fully and making this, bringing out this wonderful platform. Thanks a lot. And let's begin the story. Uh, I take storytelling sessions to children and adults too. And after the storytelling sessions, most of the time I involve them in some of the discussions or activities. And one of the activities that we do is creating a storyboard. They can just use some stickmans or simple diagrams to bring out the entire story. And in one way, it is helpful for children or adults who find it difficult to go with the flow of the story. It's like opens up lots of space for them to add more characters, remove some scenes, or add some interesting narration to the story that has been just listened by them. Today, I've brought in a storyboard that I've created myself. I usually prepare puppets and other crafts related to my story with the materials that are easily available at home. Today, I've used only two materials. One is the black chart and the other one is a newspaper. I'm presenting this for the first time. Let's see how you like it. And the story's name is Hiss, Don't Bite. As a human, we go through lots of emotions and challenges every day. How about animals, birds, reptiles, and insects for that matter? Let's travel along a snake for today and see what's happening in his life. And I invite you to join me in this wonderful journey. கண்ணுறங்கு எந்தன் செல்லம் என்னுடைய ராசுக்குட்டியே கண்ணுறங்கு எந்தன் செல்லம் என்னுடைய கண்ணின் மணியே கண்ணுறங்கு எந்தன் செல்லமே என்னுடைய நாகரத்தினம். Go to sleep, my little ones. You are the apple of my eyes. Go to sleep, my little ones. You are the apple of my eyes. Mother Cobra was extremely happy. She was in the best state of her life. She found herself to be too beautiful. She found herself to be healthy and in the most joyous state. Under the warmth and the light of the moon, and with the clouds embracing her, Mother Cobra softly and gently coiled herself up, and she was sitting on top of the few little eggs she just laid. She's eagerly waiting for the eggs to hatch, and she can't wait to see her baby snakes. And even from the time she conceived until now, she kept singing this song to her sweet little babies. She's very sure that they are listening to her. Mother Cobra lived in a forest, and near the forest there was a village. A small village with little number of huts were there, and you can even count the number of people living in that village. The men and the women who lived in the village won their bread and butter by weaving baskets, mats, hats, and selling them. They also had cattle, sheep to look after. It was the duty of the little children in each of these huts to take care of the cows, buffaloes, and sheep. And they just loved it. Do you know why? Because it gave them chance to visit the nearby forest. Just imagine swinging in the roots of the banyan trees, getting the pulp from the tamarind tree, and enjoying the juicy mangoes. Who wouldn't love that? You, me, the children, everyone will love that, isn't it? Just the cows, buffaloes, and the cattle were one of the reasons for the children to make their way into the forest. And from the morning till the evening, they were in the forest enjoying their life. And it so happened, one day when they were in the forest, when the kids were playing, one of the cows, she just lost her way. She just went away from her herd. She's not sure where to go. Where are the children? Where are her friends? The buffaloes and the sheep. She really got lost. But she knew that there is one mango tree. Her stomach was grumbling. So she ran towards that mango tree. Near the roots of the mango tree lived a cobra. You must see him. He's such a handsome boy. Silky smooth skin, shiny hood. Such a handsome boy he was. But he was in his afternoon nap. With the running of the cow near the tree, it disturbed his sleep. He just put his head out to see who's disturbing in this time of the afternoon. And he saw the cow was approaching the mango tree. He just lifted his whole body, especially his hood, spread it. And he said, "How dare you come near this home of mine? This mango tree and this hole, this is a home of mine. Don't dare to come at this time of the day. Be careful, better go away." He actually warned the cow, but the cow, all she could listen was the grumbling of her tummy. All her eyes were on the juicy mangoes. She went near the mango tree and she jumped high and low, trying her best to catch at least one bite of a mango. But at this point, she was about to stamp the tail of this snake. Ah, how dare you trying to harm me? The snake, he just lifted half of his body, spread his hood, put his tongue out, and with his sharp hands, he started to bite, a poisonous, venomous bite on the legs of the cow. The next moment, the cow fell down on the ground with a big sound. "Mama!" she cried. With the sound of the cow, all the little boys and girls, they started to run towards the source of the sound. They sure the cow was in great danger. When they came and saw what had just happened, the cow was just lying there without any movement. And the snake, our cobra, he was still there standing. He gave the children a stern look, as if, "Don't ever come here." And then, without any repent, he just went inside his hole. Now the children, they got really scared. How are we going to tell this information about a dear cow to my father and mother? But still, they just grabbed their breath and they went to their village. And just like you and me, parents, you know how they are, just said, "It is your mistake. That cow, Lakshmi, she was just like one of our family members. We can't afford to lose her. She gave us milk, butter, ghee, everything. This shouldn't have happened to any of us, especially the cows and buffaloes. No, from now on, you're not going to enter the forest. Listen to me, all the children. You're going to go to the open fields. You got that?" The children didn't want that, under the scorching sun all the day. How can the children play there? There was not even a single tree for them to just rest their heads. Along with them, the cows, buffaloes, and the sheep were also starving under the scorching sun. Luckily, one day, a monk came that way. The monk softly went near the children. He patted on their heads and shoulders and he asked, "Dear children, I know about a forest nearby. Why are you in this open field? See how hot it is. You are too young to roam under the sun. Why don't you take your cows and buffaloes to the nearby forest?" The children widened their eyes and they said, "Monk, do you know what? Do you know what? Who lives there? There is a poisonous, dangerous cobra. He is always angry and we can't go there. We can't go there." The monk said, "Ah, really? Then I must really go and talk to that cobra. I don't think he is really harmful. Let me go and talk to the cobra." The monk said to the children. The children said, "No, please, we have already warned from our part. You better don't go there. You're putting your life in great danger." The monk said, "It is my duty, I think. I should definitely go and visit the cobra and I try to understand what's really bothering him." And the monk promised, "Tomorrow morning you will be seeing me well and good." And so the monk started to make his walk, crossing the village, and he entered the forest. As you can see, he found the mango tree and he sat near the roots of the mango tree. He sang a song for some time, he meditated for some time, he read some chants, and slowly, gently, in a sweet voice, he called for the cobra. "Cobra, come out of your hole. I'm here to meet you. Cobra, dear cobra, come out. Don't be afraid. Come out." The cobra was listening to the monk from the morning. One point of time, he started to trust the monk. So he came out of the hole. Quietly, he slithered and he went near the monk. The monk asked, "How are you doing today? Is there something that's really bothering you? You can tell me," the monk said. The cobra replied, "Huh? I'm a cobra. You know what? I'm the king of all the snakes. I don't have any issue. I don't have any problem. I just came to see you. The monk replied to the cobra, Really? Are you really sure, cobra? I'm here just to meet you. The cobra then started to open up. He went near the ears of the monk and then he said, Dear monk, do you know what? I have this such a bad temper. I get irritated and angry for everything that's happening around me. And it causes a big belly ache for me. I just can't know how to handle this, the cobra said. The monk said, I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm your safe space. Go ahead. Pour your heart out to me. The cobra bent a little nearer to his ears and then he said, You know what, monk? I used to live here under the same mango tree with my mother, father, and siblings. We had so much fun, loved each other. But now I'm all alone. I just can't bear this. I just can't bear this. My mother said, I'm very close to her heart. I'll be the king of this world and so many other things. But now I'm here. I don't find any purpose in my life. I don't find anything useful about me. I really don't know what to do. The cobra told everything that he has in his heart to the monk. The monk closely listened to everything that the cobra said and he replied, Do you have at least one connection between you and your family? If anything is there, just tell me, the monk said. The cobra replied, My mother always used to sing a song to us in such a sweet voice. Even when we were in her tummy, she used to sing that song to me. And even in this moment, it lingers in my ears, the cobra said. The monk said, Then what? What are you waiting for? Just keep repeating that song again and again, entire day, and especially when you're feeling down, when you're feeling angry, just keep singing that song. The cobra thought, There's nothing wrong in trying this out. So he started to sing that song for himself. Ta-na-na-na-na-na-na. 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 Ta-na-na-na-na-na. And yes, it was really a medicine to the cobra. And then he found peace. He started to live a normal life. And the monk went and told all the children, Children, I have wonderful news for you. You can take your cattle, sheep again to the forest and you can just go there and play. I can promise you the cobra is not going to harm you. And so the children were excited. They found their happiness back. They went hand in hand, holding each other's hand into the forest. And they started to play. Of course, the cobra was then under the mango tree. Now and then he came, visited the children, just sat there and observed the children playing, and he quietly went inside the hole. Everything was going fine. Except for one day, there was this new boy who came to the village. He had heard all the stories that was happening in the village, and one of the stories was about a cow which was harmed by this cobra. When he was playing along with the children in the forest, he got a sight of this cobra. He went near the cobra and he said, Oh, you are the cobra who tried to kill one of our cows? How dare you? Let me teach you a lesson. And before the children could warn, Hey, stop, that's not happening anymore. Just let him be. Before the children could warn, this new boy, he took the cobra in the end of his tail, lifted the cobra above his head, swung him in all the directions possible, and he flew through that cobra far off. The children couldn't even spot where the cobra landed. They all gasped, How can this even happen? Why did you disturb everything that's happening in a village and this forest? No, this can't happen. The children pulled this new boy and then they went to the village. And again, they had to go to the open fields. And they didn't dare to enter the forest again because they're not sure whether the cobra is alive, whether he got into his angry mood. So they stopped coming to the forest. All of us were waiting for the return of the monk. And so the monk also came back. The children told what the new boy did to the snake. And the monk, without wasting a second, he quickly walked towards the forest. He sat near the mango tree and then he called for the cobra. Cobra, young chap, are you there? Cobra, come out. The monk called. The cobra, as if a child is waiting to see her mother or father. Immediately, the cobra put his head outside of the hole to see who is that. Monk, finally you're here. The cobra tried to pull his body, the thin, slender body. He was not able to do because he was too badly hurt. He was trying to pull his body. He tried his best to come out of the hole. And when he came near the monk gently lifted the cobra, put him on his lap, and he patted the head of the cobra. The monk asked, why were you quiet when such a thing happened? The cobra replied, you know, I'm not getting angry these days. I'm just trying to control everything that's happening. But that boy, he's just another child, you know. He didn't mean to harm me. I think he was just playing with me. The cobra replied, softly, in fact. The monk said in a stern voice, you silly cobra, you forgot who you are? You are a snake. Don't you know what you have to do? When something is bothering you, when someone is disturbing you, when you are in a bad situation, all you need to do is stand up for yourself. Lift your head proudly. Open your hood, let out a tongue and say that you are not comfortable with what's happening. All you need to do is protest for yourself. All you need to do is hiss. You need not bite, cause harm to anyone that's near you. All you need to do is let them know that you're not comfortable. You're not finding it easy. What they're doing is not right. All that you have to just lift your hood proudly, boldly, put your tongue out and say, they can't do that. All you need to do is stand up for yourself. The cobra just listened to the monk. Yes, I think I just forgot who I am. I'm a snake. Yes, I think what you told is right. I have to stand up for myself. Thank you, monk, for teaching me an old lesson in a new way, the cobra said. And rest was just happening. You know, the children started to come back to the forest. The cobra also recovered quickly after seeing the monk. And everyone lived happily in the village and also in the forest. And that's the story of his Don't Bite from the state of West Bengal in India. Thank you for listening to me.
Super, Haritha. We enjoyed the story so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Sheetal.
Yes, so why did you select this story for today?
This was, I found it interesting because mainly it was related to a snake, and also I was able to relate it to myself. Sometimes we suppress our emotions trying to be good to everyone. That's practically not possible. If something is bothering us, I think we have to open our mouth and say that we are not comfortable and stand up for ourselves. In that way, I like the story.
Wow, so true, so true. Yes, over to audience, please.
Harita, those are newspaper cuttings, right?
Yes, yes, they are they are newspapers.
Very beautiful. I love the idea, you know. So nice. Very nice. I was just looking at all those cuttings, and it's a wonderful, unknown story, but you brought it out so beautifully. Yeah. Very
Thank you,
nice.
Lalita. Thanks a lot, Linda.
Yes, anybody else? Yes, Vijay Lakshmi ma'am. You're muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Now? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Haritha, for that lovely story with a lovely message. And what was very nice, I liked, is your, the black and white effect of your storyboard. Very, very effective and
Yes.
interesting. And as you said, the message of standing up for oneself and being able to very nicely put across something that you don't like or you don't want. It's very important. So it's
Thank
very
you.
well brought up in your story and very well narrated. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So usually folk tales often carry deep wisdom, right?
Yes.
So would you
Yes.
suggest any other folk tales like this if you have been telling to audience, especially to younger audience?
Yes, I have a list. Definitely, I can just put it in the chat.
Oh,
Sure.
wow. Oh, okay, great, great. That's very nice. Yes, yes, Ramendra,
Ra-
please.
Yes, yes, Haritha, such a mellifluous voice you have.
Thank
And
you.
it was a riveting tale. And the message, stand up for yourself. There is a line in Gitanjali, don't bend your knees before insolent might. I was reminded of that. And as a schoolboy, I used to be bullied because I was a real weakling and very odd looking, looked like a monkey brand and all that. And I always used to stand up to them. So that message of yours resonated so much with me. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Ramendra sir. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, so let's move on to our last storyteller for
Thank you,
today.
Sheetal.
Thank you, Haritha. Thank you so much. So finally, we have Vandana Rao from Visakhapatnam. Vandana means worship or reverence. She worships books, being a librarian, and storybooks is like her second companion after home. This way, she pays tribute and homage to the art of storytelling, right? Today, she brings us a tale of three brothers, a story from the tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. A tale of fate, choices, and the ultimate test of wisdom, which these brothers outsmart death, or is destiny already written for them? Yes, let's explore in this story. Over to you, Vanna.
Thank you, Sheetal, for that nice introduction.
Yes.
Thank you, Eric, for this opportunity. And so you have given the story's introduction. So I just start my story. So there were three brothers, and once they were going on a road, and it was twilight. And as they were walking, they came across the river which was difficult to swim and hard to wade through. But as they were learned in their magical powers, so they waved their wands and a bridge was made across that river. Hardly halfway through that bridge, they came across a hooded figure. Am I audible? My voice is clear.
Your voice is clear. Somebody is talking actually in between. I'll just mute everybody. Don't worry. Please carry on.
So then they were stopped by a hooded figure. Actually, it was Death. And Death was bit angry that it's losing out three victims. As generally people who come to that river has to face death. They can't return. But he pretended to be joyous. And he said that as you have waded through this river successfully, you will be gifted with three magical gifts. Each one of you gets one. So the first chance was given to the eldest one, and he said he needs a wand, a magical wand, which is worth a wizard who has outsmarted death. It should be best of all the wands which exist, and it should always give the owner the winning side. He should always win. So death granted the wish. There was a branch hanging, from the elder tree near the riverbank. He just took it and fashioned it into a wand. Then the death asked the second brother. The second one wanted a stone which brings death into dead people into life again. So death goes to the riverbed, gives a stone, takes a stone and gives it to the second brother. Now the chance came for the youngest one. I'm sorry, I forgot to add. The first one was a bit combative brother, the elder one. The middle one was arrogant and he wanted to insult death further. The younger one was the kindest
If it
one.
is a day cab, okay?
And he asked Death, I need something with which I leave this place and death doesn't follow me. So the death has to unwillingly give the invisible cloak to him. And after giving the gifts, the death gave them the way, stood on a side, and allowed three brothers to leave. As they left, they were very happy with the adventure just they had had. And from there, they parted their ways. The elder one traveled for a week and went to a remote village. In that village, he met a fellow wizard. And due to some differences, they had a duel, and it was impossible for him to lose because he had that magical wand. And then he killed him and won the duel. After that, he enters an inn where he boasted loud about his victory, about his wand. And then in the night, when he was sleeping, he was wine sodden. The other wizard creeps into his room, takes the wand, and for his good, slits his throat. So this way, the death takes the eldest brother for his own. Now, the second brother, he went to his village, went to the old home, and he lived there alone. He took out his stone, rubbed it thrice, and to his astonishment, he saw the same old girl he wanted to marry. But due to her untimely death, he couldn't marry. But though she was back to this world, but she didn't belong to it. She was very cold and dull. The middle one couldn't see her this way. And he has to, then what he did is he hanged himself and he has to give his life so that to meet her eternally there. Now the death took second brother for his own. Now the third brother. The third brother, death was searching for him but couldn't find the third. To his ripe age, he lived. And after that, he thought he should give that invisible cloak to his son. And when he gave that, then he called death willingly as meeting his old friend. And the both went to the world of death. And that way, he did it willingly. Mm, Yes, I think I'm done with the story. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanna, for the wonderful story. One question from me is, why did you select this story for today?
This one, no, in Visakhapatnam, there is a bookstore. So last year, I think we bought this book. And as usual, I am busy with other works. So my daughter told me this story. And what I liked about it is, see, the greatest mystery of human life is death. And when the third brother conquered it, he goes to death, goes with the death willingly. So that part, like, I was awestruck, and I felt this is too good, and so I selected this. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Rachel, to you, please.
Um, that was a very complicated story that was very satisfying with a lot of twists because at the beginning it seemed like all three sons outwitted death and they were happy and they were satisfied. And yet, due to their personalities, quirks, and to fate, death was still able to triumph. And with the third son, death gave him the cloak unwillingly. But when the third son was ready to die, he went willingly. So I found the reversals and the complex plot and characters very satisfying. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for this reviews. Yes, anybody from the audience?
Vandana, you presented it in a very neat, simple way, you know. It was really nice listening to you, Vandana. My best wishes to you, Vandana.
Okay, so today we have traveled like through laughter, myth,
Thank you,
magic,
Hari.
and wisdom. Yes, yes, Eric, I'll just finish. So today we have traveled through laughter, myth, magic, and wisdom, all thanks to our incredible storytellers. A heartfelt thank you to each of you for sharing your stories with us. And to our wonderful audience, you are what makes storytelling comes alive. Your presence, your engagement, and your imagination makes this space truly magical. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. Yes, so as storytellers, we just don't tell stories, we bring them to life. And as listeners, we don't just hear them, we step into them. So every tale carries a lesson, a question, and a spark of wonder. So I hope today's stories have left you with something to reflect on, something to smile about, and something to share with others. Thank you so much, everyone, for today. Thank you, Eric. Over to you,
Thanks a
please.
lot, Sheetal, for being a beautiful anchor. Thank you, Sheetal.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sheetal,
Thank you,
and thank you to all the
Sheetal.
storytellers. That was a wonderful session. Now we'll take a break, and I'm just showing you the poster for the session coming up in about 25 minutes.
Yes.
The art of story reading, not storytelling, story reading for facilitating literacy and creativity. So Sri Devi will be here if she's not here already. Uh-huh. And this will begin in about 25 minutes. So if you like, just stay online, turn off your camera, or go away and come back as you like. Okay, everybody, thank you again.
Thank you again, Eric.
Thank
Oh,
you, Eric.
thank you. Oh, Sri Devi, you are here. Good. Okay, Sri Devi will
Thank
begin in
you.
25
Yeah.
minutes. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Devi, I'm making you co-host. So just in case anyone comes by and tries to be admitted, please you also let them in. Okay, because I'll step away from the computer. I'm going to go into the kitchen for a minute.
Sure.
So please let people in if anyone tries to be admitted. Thank
Sure.
you very much.